Hi, good evening and welcome once again to the Gildarie Freddie Kissoon show. We also coming to you live on YouTube, and you can get that on the Guyanese Critic page. I missed you guys so much last week. I was really out of it. I had a lot of work that entailed me going out the jurisdiction. No excuse. Should not be missing the show. Technology allows us to be connected, but I was really out of it. Came back over this weekend, dog tired. But I miss my co-host Freddie Kissoon, and I was looking at you guys, and it's good to know that you would have been with us, giving us support, listening to what we have to say. It's all such a good thing that we connected. A happy Diwali to you guys who's celebrating Diwali. Growing up Diwali, I grew up most of my formative years. I was in a place called Guyanese Bank. And I think I would boast that my area in Third Street there was one of the busiest every Diwali night. Everybody converged on that area there. And I saw Freddie Kissoon write about it. I remember his memories of Diwali. It is something special. It's not just about Hindus celebrating an event or a special occasion. It has to do with our people coming together. It is just like Christmas. Everybody does it, whether you're Christian or not. And it's a good thing to see so many people, cleaning up and walking around, and there's an attitude that comes along with that. Tonight, I want to say welcome to you wherever you're joining us. I hope that in your place, I know my friends down in New Jersey, and so celebrating it in New York, they're celebrating it. And while it might be a little muted, not compared to our Guyanese thing that we have here, it is something that they're doing. So wherever you join us from tonight, a good evening to you or good morning. It is good, really, really good. I feel happy. And Freddie Kissoon, it is, there's a lot of things for us to talk tonight. We're going to open the phone lines in maybe next 10 minutes or so. So many things. Today happened to be a momentous time in history to, I think it will be night in the United Kingdom. And we have, for the first time, we have somebody of Indian origins, how some people would say from colored, who is now, he's going to be the next UK Prime Minister, and that is significant in its way. It's just an indication of how this world has changed so dramatically. A couple of years back, we saw Obama, you could have think 20, 30, 40 years back, unthinkable. I want to hand it over to you, to Freddie Kissoon, ladies and gentlemen, and maybe a few words. And there's a couple of other things that we want to talk about, things that are burning in my mind about the development of our beautiful country and what we could do. The business of the people must continue, and we have to say the things that people don't want to say, that they're not courageous enough to say. This is our position here. We've taken this on, and how long I have the strength, I think how long Freddie Kissoon, I probably could speak for him a little here. We're going to continue serving our people because we believe it is not about which party you're from, which colors you like, or whether you're black or Indian or Chinese. It has to do with you being in love with the country. It has to do with we being serious citizens and want to see our country develop in a way that everybody could benefit. I just returned from Suriname there, but I'm going to hold those thoughts. I want to share with you some experience that I have, very profound. And Freddie, as we go forward, as we meet people, we see things, we travel, experience are left with us, and we could share it so people could really learn. Those who are not fortunate to maybe experience those things, I learn from experiences. Over to you, Freddie.
Good evening, wherever you are. Gildarie has his thing about the traffic. As I said Friday when we had our guest and I introduced the show, Gildarie talks about the traffic insanity, and I have my little motto that you must buy local. So continue to support your local industries. It has tremendous positive implications for ordinary working people when you support industries. We are opening the lines tonight, and please call us with your complaints and questions. I have had a complaint that has rested on my mind, and I want to, this evening is a holy holiday, so I don't want to use rough vocabulary. But let me tell you what are the calls I've been getting about one particular issue. And up to this morning, what is wrong with Guyana? Are we just doomed to failure? Is there some evil that has devoured the common sense, the psychic integrity of a nation? Here are the calls I've been getting every day. The government has put in the newspapers that old age pension books and the extra month of payment are available. And this is what is in the newspapers. Diamond, your date is the 26th. Queenstown, your date is the 27th. This Queenstown in Georgetown. Bridesloss, your date is the 29th. Now, how could you tell people the date to collect their pension book and the extra is a date without a place for them to go? Take Diamond. Gildarie, do you know where people are going to go in Diamond? Is it at your home? Tell me now so I could announce to people, go to Gildarie's home in Diamond to collect your pension book and your pension money, because I am assuming it's Gildarie home. They just have Diamond on the date. They just have Queenstown, Alberton in Georgetown and the date. So people have been calling me and saying, Mr. Kissoon, do you know when is the date? So I had this guy call me this morning and I said, sir, I don't know, and I just know it's not common sense for you to tell the people of Enmore the date to collect their pension book is October the 29th. Where are they going to go? In the police station? In the trench? Look, I don't want to get into a bad mood this evening. This is the evening I remember my mother that I love immensely. She was a devoted Hindu. This is her time, the Wali evening. But I guess the inevitable will be trusted upon us. When the phone lines are open, we will get complaints. For example, we did a open calling program a few weeks ago, and some people were employed by the NDC in Leguan to clean the trenches in June, and they haven't been paid. I got a call and an email day before yesterday. Mr. Kissoon, you were on the program with Gildarie. You said you will look into it. We broadcasted it. Why people employed to clean the trenches have not been paid. As I said in one of my columns, I don't like this. I don't like this calling program. I don't like these complaint things, but it's a necessary format, especially when you have a tight schedule and you may not be able to get guests, like when there was a cricket, like the Wali, like coming on to Christmas. So we do these calling programs and people complain, but I don't like it. I ask if you believe in God, if this is a holy day, and you ask Mother Lakshmi, why if you employ ordinary people to clean trenches in Leguan, why in June they did it and in October they haven't been paid? Why are you announcing to pensioners where they can go to get their books and you just tell them on a particular day? So is there no place where they can go to collect these things? Is something genetically wrong with this nation, Gildarie?
Freddie, and you hit the nail on the head there. The issue that we have here is that I think if you make a comparison, like you look at the United States, what we would term public service here, and you look at people who work with the government over there. One of the strictest thing, I remember seeing a movie back in the 90s, Untouchables, Kevin Costner, where they were Sean Connery, and they were going after this guy Al Capone, I think it's Chicago, big gangster. But you got to see the way that the authorities are doing their work and the way that they're so proud of going after somebody who's a criminal. I'm not saying that everybody is a criminal. What I'm saying is that you have regulatory bodies. Freddie Kissoon.
Gildarie, there is only one day for people in Queenstown, this area where the studio is where we speak it from. One day is allocated for pensioners in Queenstown to collect their pension.
But the man,
it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. And the man is reading the papers and it says Queenstown, October the 26th. But the man don't know where in Queenstown.
This is the first time that he's receiving that.
He didn't tell me, but I know. I saw
the
that.
pensioners knows that in the Grove area, I happen to know that they would have to go to the Grove post office that's there.
You assume
but if
it
you're forced,
know.
But if it's the first time, you would not know. And one would think that if you're doing an advertisement, that it would have those things. Coming back to my point, Freddie, I find it very unacceptable that our authorities, our regulatory body, this is something they keep harping on. The police, you mean the police, the other day I saw a photograph in the newspaper, and I just want to drop parallel here. Listen to me carefully. Providence Station filled with minibuses that has all the wrong colors and the way you call it, they wrap the bus with different kind of fancy designs and so on. Those buses are traversing every single day. Some of them owned by police officers and the family, and they're allowed to do the madness on the road. Here the point is, Freddie Kissoon. You just wake up one morning and all of a sudden, we see them every single day on the road. The police don't see them, and they decide to do a campaign. Tomorrow, back the same minibus is on the road with the same design, in contravention of the road fitness, and nobody says anything. Let's look at our engineers. The biggest scams that they're having here is the engineers. I start sounding like some of the talk show hosts. But the reality, Freddie, and ladies and gentlemen, is that our regulatory bodies, they ain't working. I received a call from some workers at the casino on these bank. I ain't calling the name, but everybody, let me call the name. Princess Casino. And the people said the labor people gotta go in there and find out what is happening. It's not good. The other regulatory agency is the gaming authority. They need to get down there and make sure that those machines are right. People are complaining, Freddie Kissoon. Are we as the authorities, as the people who are supposed to be policing, you have all the laws in place. Why isn't the authorities and the police and everybody doing their job? And you mean to tell me that somebody who's sitting down writing something like that, an advertisement to be placed, in saying that if you input the place that it's incomplete, who's checking the checker?
Gildarie, you live in Guyana, right? Noise nuisance is one of the largest salinity in Guyana. I live next to the CARICOM Secretariat, which is next to Massey Movie Town, which is next to Giffland. There's a neighborhood there by me, Gildarie, next to Movie Town. Though that music is so loud, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, any policeman, any person in authority could hear it. When you come to noise nuisance, it's so comical, because when you play music at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's so obvious. Take, for example, tint. This police force announced that there's a tint campaign. Gildarie, nothing could be more asinine in the entire world.
Why are you doing the tint campaign? Because every day you're going to look at it.
Once you see any car that is about $20 million, that is a fancy car made in Sweden, made in Germany, and not the normal Toyota model that ordinary teachers drive, they have the darkest of tint. Any policeman in the morning could just sit down by my veranda, and you will see the hundreds, not the dozens, hundreds of dark tint, darker than the hell that in Greek mythology that you call Hades. Look, why do we reduce this country to such a circus that you're going in a tint campaign? And I came off the seawall this afternoon, my dog, and you see the dark tints passing everywhere.
Now hold on. The police went into Starbuck Market about 2 days back and arrested a set of ladies and
for squibs.
For squibs, and put them up on Facebook. I looked at it and I said, wow. These things, the policemen are directing traffic in Diamond at the head of the scheme there. And the people are standing right in front of them. You're going to Starbuck Market. Yeah, it's wrong. But you're there. You've seen so many things. I mean, I don't understand. Something, it just boggles my mind. We're going to start opening
I'm sorry
up
for
the
you.
line,
I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you.
Well, I have a dog and a cat.
You're young. Your children are young. You have to face the depression.
No.
I'm getting older and I'm gone.
Starting to
I'm gone. I leave here this evening, and trust me, my wife is waiting for me, and we go to see a movie. That is my world. And then in the morning, I gone with my dog. I have 2 dogs. I have 2 cats. The rabbit died the other day.
Oh my.
That is my world. Yeah, I can't cope. This thing isn't changing. This thing is, countries have their problems, but man, it's one damn thing after another in this country that lacerates your psyche. When that man called me this morning, Gildarie, I'm telling you, something pierced my heart. When he called me and said, Mr. Kissoon, my pension book, the day for me is tomorrow, which is tomorrow, in Queenstown. He has 1 day to collect his pension book and his extra money in Queenstown.
And doesn't know where to go pick it up.
In Queenstown, all I'm suggesting, maybe it's it can't be the Alberton police station because that's in Alberton. Do you know any big super rich person living in Queenstown? Maybe that's where the guy has to go.
I don't know. Our lines 231-2982, 231-2982. You could call us on that if you're so willing to start taking.
Please don't depress
ladies
me.
and gentlemen. I think there's one already. Come on. They're not going to depress me. Good evening, caller. You on the air? Hello.
Phone is.
Good night, Freddie.
Hi. Good night. Good night.
I call from Toto. I have a quick question.
Sure.
Now, with the pensioner, they say they have a grant, right? I wanted to know, my father turned 65 on the 17th of October. I want to be able to get that grant or not.
A grant for what?
They're giving an extra month of pension. So his father has now become a pensioner at 65, and he wants to know if his father will get that extra. I would think.
Yes.
Are you listening? So I would think so.
Yes.
Once you're a pensioner, they give you an extra month. I would think so. Yes. I would answer yes.
Listen, they say right. They say you have to collect his book on the 14th of October, November. Which I see for his area is on the 7th of November.
No. I think as long as you're a pensioner, you fall within that age, and
they're going to give you the extra.
I find it very difficult to believe that that person, your father, is not going to be eligible for that. I would say yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you guys very much. And listen, I've been watching you guys program from day one, and I must say, you guys do an amazing job. Keep it up.
When you come to Guyana, check us out.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a nice evening. Okay.
Okay, you too, guys.
Bye-bye. Somebody has asked us if you're overseas and you don't want to call the line. I'm going to give you a WhatsApp number, and you could probably WhatsApp or call us. We're going to be trying to make it easier. Make your calls short and sweet, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the point over so that we could push in as many calls as possible. That number is 637-1071, 637-1071. Let's get those calls coming in, ladies and gentlemen. There's one in right now.
You got to repeat that.
Good evening. Good evening, caller. You're here.
Your program.
Yes.
I assume since it started. Mr. Kissoon, I have one question. I don't know if you can find out this for me. The parapet in front by Banks DIH, I live in Meadowbank. Is Banks DIH the real owners for that parapet? Because I see they stuck some permanent no parking sign. If you can't break down and you pull over on the side of the road, the guard man will come and chase you from there.
Okay, so let me answer that. I spoke about that with my guest on Friday. Gildarie was not here, so our guest was Aubrey Rettmeyer, the former CEO of the anti-corruption body, SARA. I wrote 3 columns about that. That Banks DIH thing has been an eye-opener for me after more than 55 years of activism. I objected to those cones. First it was cones, and we couldn't park anywhere with my wife. I objected to that. The Guyana police force was quite accommodating and sent the traffic chief and a senior police officer of the traffic department to Banks DIH to tell them they cannot put down those cones. Now, if you're listening, you got to take some hard tablets because you're going to die. If you're listening, take your hard tablets or hold on to your chair. They refused, Banks DIH refused to speak to the traffic chief and had him there waiting. He got fed up and he left. When he left, you know what Banks DIH officials did? Removed the cones and started to knock and cement permanent no parking sign on government and city council parapet. That is the extent to which Guyana has become a banana republic. In my days when I was young, sir, I was at UG, that was inconceivable. Inconceivable. That is what we have become in the 21st century.
I want to tell you this one also. So they're putting up a new building west of Banzi IH, where I think is a car sales place they're going to put up there. While they were doing that construction, well, they're still in construction, but when it started early, in the initial stage of it, they had some workers' vehicles that used to park in the land there. The workers now used to park the vehicle on the pave, on the western side of the road. And people had to walk on the public road because you got the cars parked on the pave. Over the other side, you got the cones. So people who used to walk on the pave for good, them train from Meadowbank for go to West Rungford School or wherever, had to walk around the vehicle them because Bank's workers' vehicle was parked on the pave. And all the traffic police just pass right there every morning.
Well, that's it.
This is what we've become. This is what we've become. I am so disappointed in my life. And I thought after 55 years we'd have a better country.
You want to see something, Gildarie? The police just talk about the tint on the vehicle. Must just you pass Rungford Station, look in the street, where we're on side of the trench. You know the area because you used to walk a tight shore. And see all them policeman vehicle parked right in the street.
I can tell you, and some of the blackest screens that you can see is the front. I don't know how they drive at.
Maybe all the directors of Banks DIH got black tint. Nobody can touch them.
All right, caller. Thank you very much for coming through, man. Have a pleasant rest of the evening. Bye bye. Freddie, we got another call from overseas here too. Caller, good evening. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hi, good evening, sir, and happy Diwali to you guys and the whole of Guyana and throughout the world. Alright, I would like to touch on something from Freddie's opening statement about what our country would have turned to. I'm talking about Guyana, of course. I have said this before, that it's a sad thing for Guyana because when the PPP would have lost the election in 2015, we thought we would have seen some changes. Unfortunately, the coalition have done so badly that the PPP only has to do 10% good and look like 1,000,000% good. I'm talking about the present administration. And it's so unfortunate that Guyana will stay. I'm sorry, I can't find the words, but I don't think we're going to move as fast as we should, or we are going to develop as fast as...
one of our biggest problem, caller, one of the biggest problem that we have in Guyana is that the opposition and the government can't find one single thing. And you name me with just one, and Freddie Kissoon could hear me out there too, and the folks out there who are listening. We can't find anything in Guyana that the two of them could collaborate on. They could say, look, this is a national issue. Let us hold one head and find that. Can you imagine that? Big mature people in an oil-driven economy now. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us?
I know. My heart bleeds every day for Guyana, even though I'm living away from Guyana for so many years. But my heart and soul is still in Guyana. It's so unfortunate.
Yes, it is. All right, caller. You're calling from where? Some part of the United States. I know that.
I'm calling from Queens. Yeah.
Queens. Okay, you guys have an enjoyable rest of the evening, and I hope that everything is going there well with the Diwali.
We are having a beautiful Diwali over here, actually.
Thank you very much, caller. Bye-bye.
Same here. Bye-bye.
Freddie, so good night to the folks here in North America. There's in New York and in Florida and wherever you're calling from. Of course, Toronto as well. And I think there's another call. Let's take them as they come in. Good evening, caller, you're here.
Yes, good evening, sir. Good evening to Mr. Kissoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Yes, sir.
I'm calling in connection with census workers.
Yes.
Right? The census starts the 15th of September.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is the 24th of October. And would you believe it? They hasn't received any remuneration except a traveling allowance for the work being done. This is very unfair. People working in the sun every day.
How much workers are we talking about?
Thousands of workers, sir. The census is ongoing across the country from region 1 to 10. And only a traveling allowance of $11,000, I understand, was paid. The president, at the launch at the convention center, said that the census is so important to the country and what's not. And here it is, the workers cannot even get half the salary or whatever it is. That is very unfair.
Thank you. Uh-huh.
The second point, concerning public servants, right? Mr. Kissoon, you visit the supermarket every day, as you normally say. Cost of living since January has skyrocketed, and you haven't wrote an article in your column in connection with increase for public servants. What is that, sir?
Well, I wouldn't single out any section of the society. I wrote about the cost of the living, and by implication it affects all of us. If you looked at my show, this show on Friday, I stated that between 10 and 15 years at Kaicho, as a paid columnist, I haven't had an increase. I think it's either between 10 and 13, maybe 15. I can't remember if it's since 2009 or 2008. I haven't had an increase. Now, obviously,
you're not going to raise the issue because of culture news. You didn't get an increase.
Pardon me?
We're talking about ordinary poor people here.
Well, you don't think I'm ordinary too? I know there is a problem with the cost of living. I know that. I've said that in my column. I know I go to the supermarket, and I know I wrote a column about Western cooking oil. I couldn't believe we used to buy Western cooking oil for $2,000. We cooked with that, the large bottle. And now it's almost 5,000.
Everything gone through the roof.
Everything gone through the roof. But but in fairness to Guyana, from what I have friends, I have relatives abroad, the Ukrainian war and the COVID-19 have sent the economy in shatters. So I think public servants need an increase. I'm saying it now, and I hope you're satisfied with that. But the working people all over the world need an increase. The economy, the global economy is in crisis.
Yes, so let's look at Guyana. Money sharing all around by the president. You know, they're finding money here, there, and everywhere. Why can't they find some money to alleviate the suffering to the ordinary people? No,
but you can't put it that way. Money sharing out to people who need it. The money was shared out. Money was shared out to all school children. Every school children, whether Portuguese, Indian, Africans. Money was shared out to teachers.
Money was shared out to sugar workers. Money sharing all over the place.
But okay, let me jump in here now. I hear what you're saying. I fully agree with you. I think public servants have to have an increase, but it's not only limited. I want to tend to agree to Freddie with that. It's not only limited on that. The problem that you have as the administrator, as the government, where do you put some of the money that you have available to? Should you take away something like, let's say, for the school children who are getting so much? I think my kids got about 25.
No, that's not right to say this. I'm saying don't take away anything. Public servants has an agreement. Supposed to have a bargaining agreement on a yearly basis. This government, they
No, but you're talking two different things. You're talking an increase to cushion the effect of the cost of living, and then you're talking about collective labor agreement that the government is supposed to honor. Am I correct?
No, I'm speaking about increase in salary. Generally.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. I agree with you. I think Freddie and I would stand on the same thing to agree with you that we need to do better when it comes to our public servants. I hear with you, and I guess Freddie would have to write some. I would have to say something about it too. But I just came from Suriname, and you know there's the same thing that people complaining there about, and they can't get an increase because Suriname does not have any money in the coffers. They broke.
Yeah, but Guyana has money.
Right. I agree with you that my brother. Yes.
$3 billion, man.
Yes, I agree with you there.
Finally, though, Mr. Kissoon said that he supports this president, because he believes that he means good for the people. So, Mr. Kissoon, probably you can say a word for the public service people so that it could get something, man.
I will, and for your mental satisfaction, I wouldn't stay here tonight and say public funds don't need an increase. Let me say with pellucid righteousness, yes, the public servants need an increase.
Oh no, they think the people are getting it very hard. I hear what you're saying there, so thank you very much for coming through.
All right, thank you.
Good. Freddie Kissoon, people are finding it really, really hard. I happen to know that for a fact. That's 231-2982, 231-2982 or 637-1071. If you calling us on 637-1071, WhatsApp call only. Let's see what happens. We have another call coming in. Yes, good evening, you're there. Yes, good evening, sir.
I begin the night by complimenting the show because first time I get through since watching it.
Yes, sir.
I want to make a few points, and I got a little beef here with Freddie. Not Freddie the person, Freddie the host of a couple of shows. I think that he was very lenient with Mr. Leonard Craig and that other guy, and I don't mind whatever his position is, and I agree that
You don't tell me who's the other guy.
The other guy, I can't remember his name, he probably the same party. But we leave Leonard Craig alone.
Okay.
I think we were very lenient with him. Everybody, the hallmark of a leader is admitting when he is wrong, not justifying why he was wrong. Because nobody can tell me somebody give them number. This one. The guy, you can answer me when I call the phone, the guy at BV, he gave a very good explanation. And you were still running him down. And the NDC had to try something to get the money and building the road to go in. There's a good thing. One thing I'd like to ask the show to do for me, if they could do it, is either the government lying or our private sector is unscrupulous. 3 days of work on the Demahara Bridge is $1 billion. So let's say the government is right. It means the private sector is capitalizing on a situation and overcharging for product because it's an emergency, and that is wrong. And I'd like to make a point about the Tamari bus park. When the traffic is heavy and people are there and there's not buses, these guys pull in and tell you $500 a head for $300 drop and 4 in a seat. The funny thing is soldiers and police in uniform jump in and paying that fare, and people who live in up here, they have no choice, they can't walk home after struggle. Where is the people who are mandated, the minibus association, all those people? And once again, Freddie, don't get me wrong, me, you good still, but I'm going to listen to your comment up here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, I come in and jump in with a bus thing. I got some serious problem with what's happening around the minibus park there. That is a choke point coming on for traffic on the East Bank and from the West Bank. With regards to the thing, I agree with you there. Those minibus association and those public transportation association need to step up. They have a wonderful opportunity to regularize things. I think the speedboat associations are doing a fantastic job. I don't think the minibus and public transportation associations are really stepping up to the plate. Freddie?
Yeah, 2 things. Well, I'm not an engineer and I'm not an accountant or businessman like Gildarie.
I'm not that.
But yes, I think $1 billion is a lot of money.
It raised my eyebrows, so Freddie.
It will raise anybody's eyebrows. So, yes, I would have some questions about how that repairs could be $1 billion. I hope it is an exaggeration, but I hope it's also a strategy to get the people who caused the destruction to pay. As to Leonard Craig, I have to concede that there were some emotions and emotionalism that momentarily went into to my questioning of Leonard Craig. I believe he should have said what Aubrey Meyer said last Friday. I raised the question about millions of dollars being paid monthly to a rich Caribbean family in Guyana, the Monishwars, that Sarah was renting the building for. And I told Aubrey Meyer, the CEO, who was second in charge of Sarah, how they could do that. And he did say he accepted the decision at the time, and he should have spoken out against it, and he think, looking back, it is wrong that they should not have paid so much money. I think Craig should have gone down that route. I don't know why he didn't do it, and I agree. I should have forced him. I should have been more forceful and say, you have to say when things are right and wrong. In that sense, I think I owe my viewers an apology. Yes, I agree, I should have been more forceful with Leonard Craig. I could have him back on the program, and I'll put on my boxing gloves.
I'm taken back here. We have somebody, I think, from the New York again. Hold the caller because we wanted to listen to you. Freddie did not ask me about my hat, and I was expecting walking into the studio this evening or sitting down that he would have had some comment to make, whether it's snide or something.
How you know I wasn't leaving for the last?
And
You know
my hat, he didn't say anything about it, and so here you have Freddie apologizing.
I like your tie.
Are we serious? Are we serious here with Freddie apologizing? Freddie is getting old.
I've always
all right, we have a caller
apologized.
here, I think all the way from the United States, Queens. Go ahead, caller. We had you waiting for a little while. Go ahead.
Yes, I have an issue with this problem with O.C. Rogers, where he slapped the shit out of an Indian woman.
All right.
And up to now, I didn't hear no minister call him out. Yesterday, I was watching the Pagwa parade. I hear Vindi Prasad say we must condemn violence against women. But she didn't call out O.C. Rogers. It's bullshit going on in Guyana.
I can't calm down there, sir. You can't use those language here.
But O.C. Rogers is a big bully.
You can't do so, you got to be careful and make sure we don't get sued.
No, we will get what?
can't
It's an
use-
allegation. There's a video. Okay, let me step in here, Freddie. No. Calm here. Hold on.
No, he would sue.
We'd have
He wouldn't
to-
sue you.
No,
We
no,
don't know
Freddie,
who you
Freddie,
are.
all right.
He could sue us.
We have to be
careful. Be careful
There's a
with your
video.
language.
There's a video in which we saw an individual that looks like that gentleman that you're talking about. It seems as if there's an altercation. What I'm saying to you is that there has to be a police matter. But the minute that we start saying all those kind of things on our show here, I think I did mention it when the story came out. I said that Critic took a decision to not have OC program being streamed there. And I also said that he needs to do better, that there needs to be an investigation on that. So that is something until it is, we got to be very careful because people are very thin-skinned. The fact is that our society should never, ever accept anything like that.
Are you listening, sir? I don't have a problem
Yes.
with your pronouncement.
Yes.
All I'm saying, as you continue, be careful, because if somebody feels aggrieved, they're going to sue the station, me and Gildarie, because we don't know who you are, and they're going to concentrate on us. All I am asking is to have your say. You have a right to have your say, but do not make accusations. This country more than most countries in the world, is a very litigious society. I remember when Mr. Jagdeo was president, he did say that. You could imagine Rickford Buck. You know who's Rickford Buck? When you pick up any video and look at Whitford Buck, you would never believe that man would sue people, say he damaged my character. My character is damaged. People like to sue in this place. And please, I don't know about Gildarie.
Freddie.
I don't have money.
Can I say something?
I don't have money to go to court. Yes.
Mr. Freddie Kissoon, can I say something?
Yeah, you've been saying things all the
When
time.
When Rickford Burke say that the PPP is a racist government, we can't blame them because they had a man beat up an Indian woman and no police. He didn't even get locked up, buddy.
You've gone again? Anyway.
I could put my face and let everybody see my face and it's let him see his who talking.
All right, let's make generalized statements. I think I would want to go this direction here, because we got to be very careful. You don't want us to shut down this program because of something.
But excuse me, no, there's a problem here. Sir, Mr. Rogers is being accused of slapping a woman. You bringing out your Freudian mind. Why, pardon me?
He admit to it.
But why are you putting it in ethnic terms? He slap an Indian woman. If you want to say he's...
Is the Afro guy slap the shit out of him?
Well, why is that? Look.
We'd have to bring this call to an end, sir. I understand what you're saying. I'm going to address it afterwards. I'm going to address it. No, Freddie, all right, Freddie. Sir, I understand what you're saying. Freddie, would you just come?
I am not just taking...
No, but I'm going to address it. Sir, let me address this when you're off the line. It's a very interesting point, but we'd have to do it because you're emotional with it, but it also speaks to a strong underlying issue that we have in this country, and we'd have to address that. Thank you very much for coming through. Freddie,
but you run the risk.
No.
You run the risk of getting these kinds of calls.
No, you have to, but there's couple
things. You don't have to.
Freddie, I am not going to
get a libel for.
But the guy is saying something that is fundamental. One.
He's putting it over wrongly.
No.
He's putting it over wrongly.
Are you allowing me to speak?
No. He started the wrong way.
So are you allowing me to speak?
A full man stop an injury. We don't want to hear that. A man stop a woman. And he keeps saying it. We have to be careful with these kinds of thoughts.
Okay, good. I hear what you're saying. So there's two things that the gentleman is saying. Callers, y'all just hold a little, please. So two things that he's saying there. One, that something happened and he called a name. Secondly, he's suggesting that there's a cover-up. He said not one person thing. And now, we've seen that and we've known that per country. If you have money or you're connected, that you're covered. I think Critic did the right... You know, I admire that kid. Sorry, Michael Rodriguez. The minute the thing happened that day, he took a decision to have O.C. Rogers off this platform here. I'm not saying that O.C. is guilty, because everybody is guilty, innocent until proven guilty. The issue that we have there is what the man is saying, is that not one minister said anything with it. And that in itself is fundamental. If you're going to stand on the platform as a woman activist,
I don't have a problem.
I have an issue with him using those kind of words on here. But I understand what you say.
I have two problems with him.
Good.
Two problems. I don't see how the ethnic issue come in.
That should
a man named O.C. Rogers who slapped a woman,
right,
and the government minister should have said, and he should have kept it like that. Then he keep asserting that Rogers have committed a criminal offense. On the, he slapped the S out of the woman. My problem, I've been through these programs many times. You and I did the radio program at Kaito Radio. You are going to get some wild people that are going to come on here, and we are going to end up with somebody saying, that is going to happen again, they're going to call my name again, I'm going to put an end to it, and we're going to end up with a libel. It's easy to stop people by suing them for libel. I want people to have their say, but not that type of direction.
Thank you very much, and I think we would want to echo Freddie. So let's keep the program rolling. Let us be respectful. We got to learn tolerance. We got to be mature about what we're doing, what we're saying, because we got to lift the level of conversation, ladies and gentlemen, to the next level. If you really want to be in a country which wants to develop, I've said this over and over again, you want to develop it into that place which is a first world country, you have to have people who are going to be respectful, and not only that, let us think logically and with some kind of maturity. So we have two sets of call coming in here. Let's answer. I think we could go ahead. Go ahead, call you on the air. Go right ahead.
Good night, my father.
Yes.
The guy is saying nothing wrong, but the guy is saying that the African clapper Indian, and I see nothing wrong. That's why you see why Freddie should be thing about walk about that. The guy is saying what happened. A African clapper Indian, and that's what happened to the reality. So why Freddie walking up all that?
It's a man slap a woman. Why Indian and African? Why are you saying a man slap a woman? Why is it an African man slap an Indian woman? Why are you saying a man slap a woman?
African slap an Indian.
Why an African slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, Gildarie, you deal with that. You deal with that, man.
All right.
It's a reality in your mind.
No. I'm gonna address it. Thank you very much for calling, sir. All right. I hear what you're saying. Thank you very much, Carlo. I hear what you're saying here.
He's saying everything that is wrong because his mind is driven by race. You come and say an African and Indian. I am asking you, why not a man slap a woman? And the man is a bully and he slap a woman. Why Indian and African? Why Indian and African? And you haven't answered that. You haven't, all you keep saying African slap an Indian. I'm asking you now, have some decency and answer the question. Why is race in it? Answer that. Race is a reality. Race is a reality, or it's a reality in your mind. Why is it a reality? Why a man slap a woman? Look.
All right. Any other points, Carlo?
No, the second point is bank age. Now, bank age. So why we should allow bank age to go on with what they're going on? Now, I as a poor man, if I put thing on black financial, the police and I don't come under the one lock paper. So why we should allow bank age to go on with what they're going on and nobody used to do nothing about. So we can sit down and just let blow bank age to continue doing it. It's just wrong.
Well, this issue was raised. Freddie wrote about it, and I think.
Freddie raised the issue, yeah, but then nothing happened about it because up to today, I pass on bank age that the no parking thing. But if it's an ordinary citizen, now the police and all people come and bulldoze the man face and all these kind of things. Now why bank age must sit down now and do this kind of thing? That's wrong.
Thank you very much for that, caller. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good, brother.
Bye-bye. I think what Freddie is saying there, and I could be wrong, Freddie is saying we got to come out of this rut in which we see everything through the eyes of being in a race situation. While it may be so, we have to try not to put it into people's head and allow it, to think that is normal. Let's put it out of our mind and not just pretend that it's not there, but to let us start thinking in a different direction. If we start ignoring those issues of people raising it and keep thinking about of it being racist, Freddie Kissoon, I think eventually people understand we're not.
But that is why we should put it. If you're listening, and those who are calling from the US, Gildarie, you go on to Yahoo News right now, or go on to any news. You can see two men hit shopkeeper and ran out with goods. It says two men hit a shopkeeper. It doesn't say two Hispanic men hit a Mexican shopkeeper.
All right.
They don't want.
We have a call. I think as far as a place, I'm hoping that he's in Qatar at the moment. Are you in Qatar, Mr. Derek?
No, I'm back in New York now, sir.
Yes, I know that you were far away as Qatar. Go right ahead. You're in the air.
Sir, I need to ask you, Mr. Kissoon, what does the government plan to do for those poor folks that are going to the Georgetown Hospital? Are they going to fix that problem with the Georgetown Hospital as compared to what's going on at Balwan Singh, those overpriced that they charge those poor people when they go to see the doctors?
Okay, could you give us some specific areas? I want to hear what you're saying. You're a little too broad on that. Give me some specific instances.
When I was in Georgetown one time, I went to Balwan Singh because I had a problem with my eyes. And I saw the eye specialist, and he charged me $5,000 to see him. That's 25 US. Then he charged me for the medication, etc., etc. You know, poor people in Guyana can't find that kind of money to pay for those type of services.
Mm-hmm.
How do we rectify that? I mean, when I grew up under the British, you could walk into the Georgetown Hospital and get any type of services. That was handed out, during the 50s and the 60s. I'm hoping that with the oil money being pumped into the economy now, I hope we're going to see some significant changes.
I agree with you. There's a cost, one of the biggest costs, or one of the biggest ministries, two of the biggest ministries that the government had,
Stay on the line.
Is one of it is the education ministry, and the other one is health. And a big part, I think, almost, if I'm not mistaken, drug supplies and medicines take up about 2-3 years back when I had a look at the figure, about 8 billion to 10 billion Guyana dollars. That is also it alone. And that's for across the country. Now we have oil. I think I want to agree with you that this is an area of attention because a lot of people would not afford balancing.
Are you still on the line, sir?
Yes, sir.
Go to YouTube and look at our Wednesday program. It should be of particular interest to you. Please go on YouTube, punch in the Gildarie Freddie Kissoon show, Dr. Gooding. We had 2 Georgetown Hospital specialists as our guests last Wednesday, and one was a cancer specialist, Latoya Gooding. And she said that there is a cancer drug that is enormously expensive, so expensive that the private hospitals cannot buy it. But it's used.
Freddie, let me stop you there. Let me stop you there.
You're going to let me finish? I am telling you what the cancer specialist said. That there is a very expensive drug. She called the name. You need to go and look at that program. Secondly,
I saw the program, Freddie.
And you didn't hear what she said about cancer treatment at the Georgetown Hospital?
I could not have called into that program on that night. But are we there?
Yes, I listen.
Go ahead.
Now, we have the Indian embassy in Guyana, right? And we have a lot of connections to the government of India, where the drugs in India is pretty cheap. And I'm sure that you can get that cancer drug that you're speaking about, that your guest spoke about, in India for a small amount of money and get it into the country for those people. So we need to have our government link with the Indian embassy and get some of these pharmacists in India and some of the doctors in India into Guyana and try to help these poor people.
Okay, we got what you're saying there, Derek. Any other points?
No. I'm just, I'm just happy that you guys are on the show, and I enjoy the show from the Middle East, and I'm very happy for your intake on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
I appreciate that, Derek, and thank you for being with us, man. All commentaries and opinions are welcome. Let's just keep it real. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your evening, sir.
You too, sir.
Bye-bye. Freddie, we have more calls coming. Let's take it. The people got to have to say it tonight. Good evening, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, good night.
Good night. Go right ahead.
I'm calling from Region 1, Kaitum.
Yes, Region 1.
The problem is that I think the government had something to subsidize on pensions, paying like light bills and so.
It's on water. It's on water.
Pensioners.
No, not electricity. Pensioners get a percentage, a substantial percentage reduction in water. I don't know about electricity. It may be there. I can't say no or not no. I know definitively it's on water. Do you know about it in electricity?
No, I got to get some details. I know that at one point in time electricity would have had it, but I think there was some quarrel. It was removed. I got to find out whether the government would have put it back on it. What's the direct question? Whether you could be able, as a pensioner, access the kind of help that you want there?
Yes,
subsidy?
Because, we pay like $100 per kilowatt at Port Kaituma here, you know.
$100?
Yes.
Do you know how much is it in Georgetown, Freddie?
I don't know what's the
per kilowatt. Okay. All right. I'm going to try to find out. I'm not sure what it is. We're going to get some details on that. I'm going to bring GPL and let us maybe talk about it.
Yeah, well, I think we think it's some hinterland program.
Did you ask? I think there's some hinterland program with regards to solar panels and so on. If you're living in the hinterland.
We live in this area. Yeah, we really ministers is in this area, but we don't even see a minister. Since we come in government, the only body ever see computers Manuel Mandela. Others come, but we don't.
Where exactly in Port Kaituma?
Before I live in Macdoom area, not very far from the waterfront.
And you're saying that nobody, not any official, not the regional people, nobody could be coming in to listen to you all there?
These people that be in the office, you can't even reach with them. When the minister come in, nobody don't know, they don't inform people.
And so they just turn up there just like that?
But me, the regional people from here don't tell anybody. You just hear the minister come. You might hear the man, or when the minister on the ground, then you hear the minister there. How are you going to reach there?
I want to agree with you on that. I heard many times that is exactly what's happening, and you can't blame the minister for that. Is it?
No, I'm not blaming the minister.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying you. What happened? You have some of these guys that on the ground there. We got a bunch of lazy people in this country, just sitting down there, stretching out there. And I saw Tushaw in one of the regions. Let me don't waste your call. Any other points that you that you want to raise, ma'am?
We got a lot of problem here because the sanitary garbage, the water, everything is a problem here. A lot of problem we have in this area, so we really need.
That's unfortunate. I just hope these come.
Give me a number, my lady.
My number is 69.
Give this to one of the local government people and let them call you, and maybe they'd have to get a visit there because I would want to think I'll be out of program time. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Gildarie.
Thank you. Bye bye. Freddie Kissoon, if I'm to say to you that a lot of these time ministers be turning up, well, I know the agriculture minister, Zulfikar, whenever he turns up at places, you get ample time because if you go see the forums, the farmers are sitting there, so it means that somebody on the ground is doing the job. But you want to tell me when the minister go into an area like this so that you tell the people in the morning? Is that how we do things? Freddie, we got to do things better. I have those screens on these bank there. The government, I do a lot of free ads for the Harbour Bridge. We do all the time when the retraction is and a whole bunch of other stuff. I don't have not one government ad up there. You want me to tell you? I could tell you so many things. I'm getting tired, Freddie Kissoon. Very, very tired.
Well, I did say on this program.
No, it is not. I'm looking, Freddie. You're working hard.
No, it's the right thing. Not only, I didn't want you to say it, so I said it in the program. Protocol dictated that you should not have said it. I did say in this program that you started a business and you have your
screens. No, the point I'm trying to make,
government should give you ads. I do not understand why government agencies are not giving you ads. I don't understand.
All I'm saying that those screens are up there and the government, it doesn't have to be government, any agency that wants to come on board. And we could do it free for them. But there's so many ways that we could educate our people. You're in Port Kaituma, there's WhatsApp, there's phone call, there's an RDC notice. So many things. The police station, you could put notice up. You have Tushaw in those areas. What are we doing? What are we doing in this age of technology? You mean to tell me that the people got to know the morning that the minister is coming up there or somebody? And you mean to tell me that there's no representative in the area, but you're fighting up to be part of the RDC, you're fighting up to be part of the village council and going through the elections, and people don't see you? If you ask me who are the council members for my NDC, I don't know them pretty soon. I know the chairman, I know the vice chairman, I know the overseer. I don't know them because they come election time. You vote for them after that. They sit down in the corner, become yes man and yes woman. Ladies and gentlemen who are watching, am I wrong? Freddie, I think they say that we have about 3 minutes more. Unfortunately, last call. Caller, you on the air, quickly.
Good evening, gentlemen. I am hoping that at some point in time in your show, I really love your show, but I'm hoping that you will dedicate some nights to cricket. I mean, the West Indies Cricket Board and the T20 debacle in Australia, it's about 8 million people in the Caribbean. And I mean, it's hard to put on your TV and look at other people play.
Well, Phil Simmons, yes, we'd have to do that. Phil Simmons is stepping on as a head coach. It looks as if they're cleaning.
Not Simmons that has to alone, the entire board.
I agree with that. It is unacceptable at that performance.
The captain needs to go.
Everybody, clean sweep. But we need to do a lot of other things, like put in cricket academies and things like that. We don't have those kind of things. What we have is plenty franchise and a set of young men who don't know what to do with the money.
Definitely, but the thing is, Mr. Gildarie, we need to get cricketers, we need to play cricket.
Exactly.
The main thing in this country and in the Caribbean, we're not playing enough cricket. Look at what we're having. We're having a Super 50 tournament in 2 countries.
Right.
Every country should be visiting everybody. Guyana should come to Jamaica. Jamaica should go to Guyana. So we play on different pitches, different conditions, and players get the thing. The West Indies board is saving money on this thing, and then when you check that the entourage that went to Australia, the officials are larger than the team. They have to stay in 2 hotels when you look at these people.
Yep, I agree with you. All right, my brother. I think we're out of time. Thank you very much for that.
All right, no problem, bro.
God bless. Bye-bye. I think there's one person who's always been coming through to us and we never really took him. Mike, you're on the air. Go right ahead. Quickly. You just got a couple of minutes.
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Go right ahead, Mike.
Leonard, good evening. You know, Freddie, good evening.
Good evening. I could hardly hear
Can you
you.
hear me?
You got to raise the volume a
Can
little.
you hear me? Good evening.
Go ahead.
Yes, hello. Yes, my volume is right now. Freddie and Gildarie, good evening.
Good evening.
You know, I'm one of the first callers who were calling and asked you to do a live calling. I don't know if you can remember during the week I spoke to you concerning this, Leonard.
Yes,
I wonder if viewers can hear him.
I'm not sure, but something is, your volume is very, very much down. I don't know why, Mike.
No, I'm hearing the other caller concerned talking about cricket. I don't think we got down that caller.
All right, no problem. I think something is wrong with the volume. All right, but any point that you want to make very quickly? Hello?
That has a, there's a problem. I can hardly hear him.
Yeah, we could barely hear you here, Mike.
And I'm not sure the viewers will hear him.
I think we out of time too. My apologies, man. Mike? Yeah, my apologies about that. We chat. Give me a call. Okay, Freddie, I think we're out of time. Let us maybe just wrap up. We really apologize. We might have these calling programs. Might have to go a little longer, maybe 1 hour, put another 15 minutes or so.
No.
So
all around the world, the format is
There's a 1 hour, right?
Yeah.
But you hear so many people complaining with different things.
I don't like
tugs at the
it.
heart.
I don't. You want 50 minutes more? I don't want it. We have to do it because, as I explained earlier, I don't want to hear these things. You're young, you can take it. I don't want to hear things in a country of 760,000 people. I don't want to hear how much people the NDC have to cater for. How large is the NDC's bureaucracy that people clear trench in Lebanon in June and can't get paid. I don't understand why
the census people. You heard
the census people, right?
Census people can't be paid up to now.
You telling
any closing remarks very quickly?
I just feel that I just hope that the future of this country belongs to your kids, my kids. When it comes to my age, I just have to find my satisfaction in my own little sphere. I could only hope that Guyana gets better. We have oil money now. We're not as bad as we were 50 years ago, 60 years ago. There's some income there that could be used to make people's lives better. I just hope it happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, we could consider ourselves fortunate. I wanted to keep this back. Yes, the e-networks, so one of the good news I've heard today, e-networks is going to be entering the market into the mobile service. It is a site. I was over in Suriname over the weekend, and one of the things that really, really shocked me is that there were sentiments. People say you guys are very, very fortunate in Guyana, that they want to come here. Imagine people want to come to Guyana now. People really want to come. We really got to sit down and start thinking about the future of this country and start participating. Don't leave it to Freddie Kissoon or Glenn Lal or the critic or Irfan Ali alone. You got to start standing up or sitting down and make sure that you play a role. If you see something, do something about it. Do not allow the culture of it having to be done by Freddie Kissoon, that we allow somebody else to do our work for us. We have to be serious citizens. If the minibus are not doing the thing, start talking, name and shame them. If you know a politician is taking bribe, name and shame them. If you know your overseer is taking bribe, talk something, do something. If you man put up a house on a $80,000
Okay,
salary,
Gary,
that is about
why-
50 to
why a
100 million.
business-
Why are we not saying
Why a
anything?
business almost a third of a mile wants to drive piles and no parking piles, and it's been brought out so often. Look, somebody talk about it this evening, and it could just happen. Are we acknowledging we a banana republic?
It is, I know, Freddie, it's indicative of how far we've come to accepting nonsense for norms. We accept nonsense for norms and we allow our officials, the people who we voted, who we say that are public servants. Listen to this. The people who we say that are public servants, who's supposed to be serving us, they like gods to us. I just want to leave that with you guys to chew on for the rest of the night. Because these are the people who dictate our lives. The opposition, some people in offices, whether it's the technocrats and those technical officers, the engineers and the rest of them, we start calling them out. I'm getting tired as I get older. Freddie Kissoon is right. I want to make sure that my kids get a level playing field in this country. Stay safe on the road. Be careful with those squibs. We're going to be back with you on Wednesday. Interesting time. Speak of the House, I understand, is going to be here. Mansoor Nadir. We're going to have some interesting things to talk about. I have issues with the National Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, all the best for the remaining few hours of Diwali. Let us show the love for this country, for each other. It's good to be back with you. Until